Mentorship in real estate. Let's talk about it. This is a hot topic, guys, because people are always saying, how do I select the right mentor? I'm not getting what I want out of my mentor, etc., etc. So let's make a couple videos and let's talk about mentorship in real estate. In this one specifically, how do you select the right mentor? Like, share, subscribe. Let's go. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Sascha Chatman here with Chatman Realty Group. I am an eXp Icon agent located here in Fort Worth, Texas. I help people buy, sell houses all day, every day. And I have a coaching program, the Real Estate Tech Ninja, which I coach agents. So I have a lot of mentees. So let's talk about some of the issues that are surrounding the whole mentorship in real estate. We're not just talking about the eXp Mentor Program, guys. We're talking about mentorship as a whole. How do you select the right mentor? So let's get into it. First things first, selecting the right mentor. You need to really get a good understanding of the person who you want to be your mentor. First thing, why? Ask them why are they trying to be a mentor, okay? And what can you get out of them? The why factor is very, very important. I know there's a lot of mentors out there that do this because they get paid, right? And they make money off of it. Not hating on that. I do that, right? But if that is the only reason why you're mentoring, you need to make sure that that individual is going to actually put the time and work and energy into you, okay? You want to understand their motivation. Me, on the other hand, I do get paid for mentoring and coaching, but I love watching other people grow, right? It's a direction I want to take my business more and more into. But I really like taking folks who are completely green in the business, guiding them, teaching them, and watching them grow their business. It's a joy for me, and I enjoy doing that, okay? So you want to understand your mentor's motivations. Why do you want to do this, all right? Number two, this is the big one, time. Do they actually have time to mentor you? Now, at the same time, let me be very clear. You need to be respectful of that individual's time because they are also running a business, right? But the question is, do they actually have time to sit down and meet with you, whether they be in person or over Zoom? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that right now because I know I have some mentees that want me to sit down with them every week in person. And I don't have that type of time to do that every single week in person. In fact, real estate is not so much a in-person deal when it comes to mentorship or even sometimes when it comes to buying and selling. I meet a lot of my leads online and I connect with them that way. Zoom is a great tool, but you need to understand when you sit down with your mentor or you want someone to mentor you, do they actually have the time to put energy into you? Or are they so wrapped up and busy with their own business that they don't have time to commit and really help you out? Okay. Now, let me give you guys a good example. I used to meet with my mentees weekly. I wanted a weekly mentor session, and I started learning something here. As I was doing this, I would give them things to do, and no one was getting the tasks done. And I'm like, man, am I giving these guys too much to do? No, not really. And that's why I said, no, I don't think I am. But I have to keep in mind, they are brand new in the business sometimes. And when you're brand new in the business, you're trying to get your skill set there along with the expectations, and that can be overwhelming. Very few of my mentees were able to meet weekly and complete all the tasks and say, hey, this is what I need you to do this week to build your business, and they couldn't get it done. So now I've moved to a format of meeting with them every other week and giving them opportunity and time, right, in order to complete the task that they need to do. And on the off weeks, just check in with me, right? Because when it's frustrating me as a mentor when I say, hey, let's do X, Y, and Z. That's going to help you. Come back, you still haven't done it. I'm like, really? But at the same time, this is a foreign, brand new thing to them. I got to give them time to adjust. So I have to adjust the way I mentor folks from that perspective. So time is a big one right now, okay? Here's another big one. Number three, what is their current production level, okay? Are you trying to get mentored for someone who's a $20 million producer? Or are you trying to get mentored for someone who's a $10 million producer or a 2 or a 5? There are levels in this game, okay? Great levels in this game. You need to understand the production level of your mentor. Sometimes getting somebody who's going to be to mentor you who's at $20 million, right? They are so far above what they used to do when they first got into the game as a brand new agent. There could be a huge discount there, okay? A huge mismatch that just doesn't make any sense, right? So you need to understand their production level, because I find myself, sometimes I'm talking too high, and sometimes I find individuals who mentor me, and I'm like, wow, I really want to get to where they are one day. And I aspire to be that. But they are leagues above me. And I'm like, okay, that's a new level. So understanding your mentor's production level is key and critical. Are they still transactional? Okay, that's very important. Are they still transactional? Let me dive into that a little bit. Okay, there's three Sashas. There's three Sashas you guys get to see. There is Sascha, the business owner. Okay. When I'm in my business owner mode, I'm a very different person, right? There's Sascha, the transactional agent. Okay. And then there's Sascha, who is the business coach, right? Real estate coaching and guiding people, mentoring. I am going between all three of those individuals all the time in my head, but I'm very transactional. I still need to sell houses to make money in order to help and provide for my family. So that is my bread and butter. I cannot let the business guy, right, or the coach, Sascha, take over way too much to where I'm not writing contracts and I'm not helping my buyers and sellers. So that's something that I have to be cognizant of when I'm going back and forth of what I'm doing. I say all that to say this. When a mentor wants to follow me, and shadow me for the day, I need to be transactional, Sascha. Okay, them following me and they're brand new in the game and going to see business Sascha, it's just going to blow their mind. And I've noticed that, and that's been my era, it's been the mentees era. But sometimes I'm vacillating between those three people all the time, right? My day can start off where, okay, boom, I'm gonna knock out a lot of YouTube videos, and then the next 2 hours, I am going to just straight up cold call or call my leads and follow up. And then the next hour after that, I am coaching 3 or 4 agents. Okay, my days mix and match like that all the time. So when someone wants to follow me for a whole day, that's not good for them. Not when they're brand spanking new, because they're not going to jump into training and mentoring somebody right away. And they may not need to do all the things that I'm doing from a business perspective. They just need to learn the contract, okay, how to get a listing, how to do a buyer consultation, how to do a listing presentation, and then how to do the follow-ups and phone calls and all that stuff. They need to be transactional. So you need to understand that when you look at the production level of who you want to work with. And that brings us into number 4, understanding your mentor's skill set and their niche. What have they done in real estate? What is their claim to fame in real estate? That's a big thing. Okay. For example, I'm a tech head. I'm a nerd. I'm a geek like that. So I can teach you about pretty much everything about a CRM out there. I can look at your CRM that you're using if you're not even using KV Core or Real Geeks, and I can look at it, understand the back end of it, because I have that type of knowledge, and I can tell you what you need to do with your back end in your website. Or I can tell you if you got something that's trash, right? I can also help people from a follow-up standpoint, how to use BombBomb, how to use Real Geeks, how to use tons of other CRMs, and really how to use lead generation platforms like ZBuyers. How do you get these sellers attractions, et cetera. That is all in my skill set. I have a very wide skill set here now that I've been developing over real estate that goes really deep. So I have that knowledge that I can share with people, right? Does your mentor have a deep skill set? Do they do great on follow-up? Okay. Do they understand how to get the lead in and keep that lead, right? Because it takes several touches to get them there. You need to understand your mentor's, skill set. What do they do very well? Also, understanding the niche. Do you have someone who's really good in doing expires, FSBOs, someone who does open houses like a boss, right? What do they do well? And what about them attracts you to them? And what can they teach you? That is a very big and important thing when you start looking at getting a mentor. Do they have the skill set to pass on to you? Now, keep in mind, you might be brand spanking new if you're watching this video. If you're a brand new agent or an aspiring agent, you probably don't know what you like yet, right? You probably have no idea what you like. For example, I don't like cold calling. I don't like calling expires, but I'm pretty good at it. I just have to be in the right mental space to do it, right? If I'm not in the right mental space, I'm not going to be good at it. So understanding what their skill set is and what their niche and what they've done to build their business is key and critical. Last but not least, you need to understand their background. What did they do before they got into real estate? This is very important when it comes down to the skill set because, their previous background is going to dictate how they do real estate. It's also going to dictate what else they can bring to the table. For example, let's take myself. I was a hospital administrator, right? I was a business engineer. What I did was broke down processes and improved them in hospitals all the time. That's what I did. I was a hospital engineer, breaking stuff down, finding flaws in a different process, making it better, improving it, etc., etc. I brought that skill set to real estate. I built scorecards. I built metrics. I brought all that to real estate to where I know if I pull on this lever over here, it's going to give me this outcome that I want over here, right? So I have learned the real estate business very differently than a traditional real estate agent. I'm not trying to be the next realtor out there. I'm trying to be the best realtor I can be, bringing out my skill set and so forth. So I'm able to teach that differently to my mentees of how to really break down real estate and look at it differently. But understanding your mentor's background is key and is critical, right? That's something you need to really get from them and get an understanding and see if there's a match because they can help you bring out your background. That's why it's important. Bringing out your background so you're not trying to be a cookie cutter realtor. There's so many ways of being successful in this business, guys. Okay. All right. Last but not least, let's talk about expectations. All right. This is not on a list, but let's talk about expectations. What are your expectations of your mentor? Are they realistic? Okay. Matter of fact, that's a whole video in itself. I probably should break that down more. Matter of fact, I will. But real quick, let's just talk about it, touch on it. Are your expectations realistic for your mentor? Okay, if you want them to meet with you every single week in person, etc., are you asking too much? Sometimes I have mentees that want me to care more about their business than they do. And I'm going to be harshly honest here, I don't. Okay, I want you to be successful, don't take it wrong, but I can't put more time and energy into your business than you are. This is one of the number one reasons why agents fail. Right? They don't put the time and energy into their own business and they expect someone else to do that. They expect the brokers to do that. They expect the EXP sponsor to do that. They expect the mentor to do that. And I can spot that a mile away when I have a person who's A, not making my mentor meetings, B, they're not doing the tasks that I'm asking them to do, right? And C, they start getting into this negative attitude of, well, you're not doing for me. Child, please, it is your business. Let me be clear. This is your business, right? Don't expect your mentor to do more for you than you're willing to do for yourself. So get the expectations up front. When you guys are going to meet, make the meetings, right? And what you expect from them afterwards. Are they going to teach you about contracts? Which they definitely should, by the way. Are they going to teach you how to fish and how to go get the business, etc., etc.? But here's the other thing. Are you accepting of those teachings? And are you going to do your part to actually take that information in and make it happen for yourself? All right, guys, I hope you like this particular video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions about mentoring or you need a good mentor, I am located here in DFW. I'd be happy to take you on. If you're here in EXP, if you're struggling, I can get you there. I will be pushing you. I'll tell you that right now. I'll push you. If you're not here in the DFW area and you still need coaching and mentoring, I do offer a coaching program at therealestatetechninja.com. You guys can always click on the link down below to schedule a chat with me to talk more about your situation and see if I can help you out. Like, share, subscribe. It helps me grow the channel. I appreciate it, guys. Peace.